Hello. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on another video. Today we're going to do my weekly check-in for the third week of June. And we'll do our paycheck budget closeout for the third week of June also. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing that happened was I got paid. It was a little less than I was expecting, but it was $14.74. My cell phone bill came out. It was $123.10 for my 3-month subscription to Mint Mobile. Brian got paid. He did bring in a little more than I was expecting at $11.50. Brian got gas in his car for $65.03, and this came out of our cars category. I did tell him about not filling up his car all the way because this is not a full tank of gas. I told him about the two experiences I've had where I only put some gas in and ended up spending more overall, because if you don't fill it up, then it seems like it takes double the amount of gas than it would have. So he said he will try and always fill it up from now on. My life insurance came out for $36.40. We paid tithe for $50. My kids went to see Inside Out 2. They said it was really good. With their summer camp, the admission to the movie was free, but if they wanted a snack from the movie, they had to pay $9 each for a snack pack. And so I gave them each the $9 so that they could get I think it was a candy, a popcorn, and a drink, like obviously all small sizes. And that came out of our kids category. This past weekend was my 10-year-old's birthday party. So we ordered pizza for that, and it was $34.04. Stuff for the party, this was like fruit, because we had fruit, like a fruit tray. This was soda for the party. Paper plates, things like that. So all of this stuff came to $71.96, and since it was for the party, it came out of the kids category. We went to Walmart and got groceries for $123.15. My husband has I think it's pronounced Bulova watch that I gave him, I think for our 2nd anniversary, and the battery was dead in it. So we bought a watch kit from Walmart so that he could take the back off of it. We figured the $14.98 was worth the investment over the long term of him having the watch. He only wears it for special occasions. So this was $14.98 for a watch kit that came out of our household category. We paid our mortgage for $18.70.14. I got my YouTube paycheck of $352. We had our pool professionally cleaned. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it, but that our pool was green leading up to the party, like the week of the party. It'd been going very well up until this point, and I absolutely could not let it be green for the party, or so I thought. I'll tell you about that when we get to it. So we did have someone come out and treat the pool and clean the pool, and he charged $100 to do so. And when he came out, I told him what I had been doing as far as putting like a gallon or so of chlorine in every 3 or 4 days. And he said, just with the heat currently, the pool is going to take more chlorine than it did, in spring. So instead of doing 1 gallon of chlorine every 3 or 4 days, I need to do at least 2.5 gallons of chlorine every 3 or 4 days to keep it from going green. So we did pay $100, which came out of our household category, for a pool cleaning. We transferred $100 to our savings account. Got it here in my emergency fund envelope. If I can get it out. There we go. $250 is now what we have in our emergency fund. Chlorine, I did buy another 2.5 gallon jug when I went to go fill up our chlorine. So now we have 2.5 gallon jugs, since the man said we're going to need more chlorine every week. So it was $37.10. It should only be about $20 going forward, but we did have to pay for the jug this time. So that came out of our household category. We got some feed for our pigs, and it was $26.98, and that came out of the homestead category. We got some pool toys for the party, a couple of floats, and some water guns. Those balloons that blow up really fast, the 60-second water balloons, and one other thing for the pool. Oh, like a basketball game, like a inflatable hoop with an inflatable ball. And that was $51.63, and that came out of the kids category because it was for the birthday party. And then while we were here at the party, I ordered more pizza. This first pizza charge was like, I put in a future order for 4 pizzas, and then I went and picked this up so we wouldn't have delivery. And then later, the day of the party, as people were coming, I ordered more pizza and got it delivered. 4 more pizzas with delivery was $44.32. So we didn't even end up having a pool party, you guys, which makes me even more upset about this $100 because, as you know, it's been really dry here. I've said before that it's been really dry. The grass is brown. We even have a tree in our yard that is dying. Like, all the leaves have turned brown. They're blowing into the pool when the wind blows. But it decided to have, excuse me, let me get my words together. On Saturday, the weather took a turn and it actually stormed Saturday. So the kids weren't even able to get into the pool because it was thundering. It wasn't like the biggest storm we've ever had or anything, but it definitely was thundering, and we didn't want the kids out, obviously, for that reason. So we didn't even end up having a pool party. We had an inside party. So it turned from a pool party to an inside party rather quickly. The kids still had fun. We have a Nintendo Switch, so they played Mario Kart, they played Jenga. We had an activity for them to do anyways. They painted. The party was like anime themed, so they painted anime pictures that my sister had drawn on canvases. So they all had a really good time, but it just didn't end up being a pool party. So I got gas in my truck for $79.72, and that came out of the cars category. For Caleb's birthday, my sister took them to the Bold Matsuri anime convention in Jacksonville. So I had to get gas because I had to take them to Jacksonville. She took Caleb and Bryson, and then we met at Buc-ee's for her to drop them back off to me. So there was no way I could make it to Jacksonville and back home without getting gas. So I had to stop for gas. $79.72. And then groceries. Today, actually, I had to go to Dollar General and get a few things that we needed to make it until Thursday when I put in my grocery order. So that was $18.45 out of the grocery category. So as you guys can see, I was well behaved this week on the groceries. So we did a great job with the groceries this week. Yay! So let's see how we did in our other categories. I'm going to scoot this up. There we go. Okay. So Brian brought in $11.50. I brought in $14.74. Our rollover was $120.07, and my YouTube check was $352. So if we add all of that up, it is a total of $3,096.07. So our mortgage came out as we expected at $1,870.14. Our solar panels have not come out yet. My cell phone was a little bit less because I did have a credit with Mint Mobile, a small credit, so it ended up being $123.10. And my life insurance was $36.40, and we did tithe $50. $1870.14 plus $123.10, $36.40 and 50 is $2,079.64. And we'll just subtract that from our income, which will give us a remainder of $1,016.43. Okay, so cars, we spent $144.75. So we still are on track. I shouldn't need gas next week. Only Brian should. So if he spends $100, that will put us under budget for the month for gas. So that's great news. Groceries, we did really good eating out of the pantry, the freezer, everything. So we only spent $141.60, you guys. So let's see, that means next week we could spend up to like $290 and be right on budget for the month. So I think $290 is a great amount of money for a week's worth of groceries. We shouldn't need Alexa, stop. Sorry about that. We shouldn't need more than $290, so we'll be good to go with groceries. And then kids, we spent $219.95, which is a little over budget, but not terribly bad. Household is the real kicker here. It was $152.08 for the week. And that was mainly due to the pool cleaning and us buying that additional chlorine jug. For homestead, we spent $26.98 on just pig food. So this will be a total of $685.36. Subtract that from our remainder. And that leaves $331.07. Okay. All right, we didn't pay anything here, so we'll bring down the $331.07. For savings, we did save $100. So that means we should have $231.07 as our rollover, which is what our transaction tracker said it should have been. So that is a zero-based budget. So a couple of things happened this week. My income was lower than expected, but Brian's income was higher than expected. We could have been able to put more money in savings, but we did have an unexpected expense with the pool. And also update on Brian's unemployment situation. He did have the meeting or appointment with the appeals place on Monday. His appointment was for 11:30, and as you know, Brian is a manager at a restaurant, and 11:30 is lunchtime. So he was able to steal away for a few minutes to take the call, but unfortunately the appeals office called us. Like, we weren't able to call them. We had to wait on their call, and they did not call at 11:30. They called at 11:45, and by that time Brian's break that he was allotted to take the phone call was over. So we now have to put in a request to appeal the decision, which of course the decision was made that they denied the appeal because we didn't take the phone call. So now we have to go in and request like an appeal to that denial and schedule an appointment that's convenient for us to have Brian take the phone call, which I wish they would have just done in the first place. They didn't give us an option of what day and time Brian could take the phone call. They just told us when it was, and then they were late with the phone call. So the next update I give is just going to be if we got the money. Like, I'm over it at this point. Like, we don't need the money. Would it be nice to have the money to like build up our savings account? Absolutely. But if we don't ever get that $400, which is what I'm expecting it to be, then we won't not be able to pay our bills for the next couple of months. So if I bring it up again, then it's going to be because we were able to get the appeal filed and we were approved and we got the money. So this will be the last update you guys hear about it unless we get the money, because I'm tired of talking about it. Okay. But I thank you guys so much for your support. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you on Friday for my budget with me for the 4th week of June. Talk to you then. Bye.